yes, I would like to speak in English. This is really another emotional moment for me. And the emotions started and they were stirred by an email that we received from a particular individual. And he was telling the story of a child in Upper Sindh. And that child was out of school and he was brought into the folds of this schooling system, this informal schooling system called Takmeel schools. This child, who had been out of school for years, was now receiving informal education. He'd never been out of his village, small village, probably you wouldn't even find it on Google Earth. And the mentor of this student emailed us that this is the first time this student is going to come out of his village, is going to come out of Sindh, come into Punjab, come into Lahore and attend the Lahore Science Mela as a participant. And there were about a dozen other students in his in similar situation, and they had stall number 1 in our arena, Takmeel schools. Now these students were brushing shoulders with scientists from CERN, the Atomic Energy Commission, PCSIR, WWF. This is the kind of mingling that we want to achieve. That's why this is a Mela. We call it a Mela. We don't call it a science expo or a science exhibition or a science congregation. We call it a Mela, a fusion of our local realities with world science. And I think we have stirred a revolution. My father started this. He's not with us today, but I think this is one of his legacies. And I am proud to say that we now have a galaxy of illustrious people who have worked with us day and night. They have been instrument builders, they have been volunteers, they have been public communicators, they have been organizers. About 150 people, I would say, have worked tirelessly with us for months to make this a reality. Our estimates are that about 100,000 people have visited this premise in a couple of days. In a climate where we are clamoring about who gets into power, who goes out into the streets, and in this cacophony of noise that just silences everything else, we're talking about science, we're talking about technology, and we're talking about people coming together for a common goal. So I would like to thank a few names I would mention just out of the list that comes in my cerebrum. I would like to thank foremost Mohsina Asif, Muhammad Yasood, Khwarizmi Wakil, Salman Mahmood Qazi, Umar Hassan, Dr. Muhammad Mustafa. Umar Hassan was the main builder of the KSS Exploratorium. Dr. Muhammad Mustafa was the main mentor for our public science communicators. Ayaz Mahmood, Khadim Mahmood, who's recovering from a very dangerous attack of dengue. Hopefully, alhamdulillah, he's recovering now. Saqib, Usman Beg, Muhammad Shoaib, Ali Hassan, Zubair, Bilal Haider Shah, Sohaib, Rai Mohsin, Aisha Jamal, Kinza, Wajiha, Aliza, Shoaib Shamsi, Naveed Iftikhar, Tayyam Iftikhar, Varda, Dawood, Kamran, Khalid, our media team, Kamar Shahzad, Shahzeb, Arshad Maral, done all the finances, Shirin Bas, Ittisam, Bilal Razak, Ariba, Mehel Noman, Habibullah, Raja Mehtab. And this event wouldn't have been possible if we didn't have 4 people with us. And those 4 people have gone beyond the call of duty. They have worked for months and months, and they have looked after the logistics of this event. It was a massive event. The expenditures I'll tell you about later. I'm coming to the sponsors. But had it not been due to Abu Bakr Siddiqui, and his team comprising Umar Bahid Qureshi, Shumail Siddiqui, Ajmal Siddiqui and Shakur and the many others, this event would not have been a success. We had a team of designers, Sania Asif, Mohammad Saad and Naveed. I'd like to thank Joe Picano once again for enriching this Mela. This Mela would have been hardly anything without Cern's support, without Joe's support. And the way in which he has galvanized not just his mentees in the LHC Interactive Tunnels and the LHC Disco, but the entire arena. Joe has just lifted the spirits of this. So thank you, Joe, and we hope to see you again. I would like to thank our media partners, Discover Pakistan, Geo, and others, and the sponsors. We have raised about 80 to 90 million rupees for this event. Half of this is still pledged, we haven't received it. But starting from a single individual who has donated about 1,000 rupees to organizations that have gone out to denote something as large as 10 million rupees, I would like to thank all of them from the core of my heart. And last but not the least, this Mela would not have been possible without the support of our hosting partners. Yes. The Divisional Public School and Intermediate College, Model Town. In fact, we had a competition amongst schools to host the Lahore Science Mela. So they didn't get this for free, or it didn't come out just out of the blue. There was a competition between schools, and it was DPS that went all the way till the very hilt, and they accepted us, and they opened up not only their doors, not only their hallways, not only their arms, but also their hearts for us. So I would really like to thank the principal, Salim Reza Chaudhary Saab, and especially the man who's behind all of this, the vice principal and the headmaster, Azhar Mahmood Saab. Sir, bahut shukriya. And he's been supported by a team of other teachers, notably Sayyida Sarwat Sahiba, and a large group of teachers and staff members. At the end, it's really an emotional moment for me, because touching lives is something that one can only aspire for. And I think through the Lahore Science Mela and through the Khwarizmi Science Society, we have been touching lives. We might have the Midas' touch. I think over these 25 years, not hundreds, not thousands, but probably hundreds of thousands of lives have been touched. These lives are changed. Carl Sagan, the public communicator of science, one of the most famous ones, once said that looking through a telescope can change a child's life. Here we had microscopes, we had telescopes, we had interactive tunnels, we had exotic birds, rocks, minerals, robots, flying machines, hydraulic systems, we had flight simulators, we had aero modeling, we had lectures from one of the world's leading public communicators. Paul Davis is one of the most distinguished and celebrated science communicators in the world. I'd like to thank all of them. May Allah make this mission go on. I'd like to thank my family. And may Allah bless you all. Thank you very much.